yeah, I checked out your pod. It was pretty cool. Oh, thanks, bro. But it's like, it's these conversations, but I find it so fascinating how it's also this just really fun new medium that, you know, is like not fixed in one thing. You can be anything you fucking want. But
Oh, dude, I love it. I'm totally fucking addicted to it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
Fuck. We had our first episode with, you might know him, Joshua Cinderella. I call him Joshua Cinderella now.
Yeah, that's his internet name. I just was put on a text with him actually, because he's coming to Los Angeles and we have a mutual friend. So we were like set up to like.
Who's your guys' mutual friend?
Sean Monahan, 8-ball.
Okay,
Sean.
I don't think I know who that is.
He's a trend forecaster, coined normcore. Lovely guy. He's about the internet.
He coined normcore.
Yeah, he did that.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he hates that that's his like, people are like, oh, what'd he do? And it's like, oh, I invented the toaster.
All these fucking cultural elites, man.
Yeah, dude. Gotta love words. No,
sorry, never mind. Just bleep that out too.
There's no rules here. Yeah. No, he's definitely
like fucking. Also, when I got into this shit, I realized how much New York is like a huge cultural epicenter.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of my friends out there. It's like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of fucking cultural elite people that fucking, like fashion or art or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. What's your theory about that?
I mean, my theory is it's true. It's just
why is that though?
I mean, I think for
just like the shit, are they just intellectually like, fucking just the shit and they just are high end fucking.
Thanks, man. Thanks, dude. I mean, I think
you and Adam Lear.
Yeah, right on. I think I will say, like, I kind of I left New York. I mean, I didn't leave it very far. I went to LA, so it's like kind of not leaving. But like the whole like Brooklyn dad, like liberalism thing was like very unappealing. So that's not why I left, but I definitely saw like that.
Well, yeah, man, you
group.
have a kid, don't you too?
I do.
Dude,
but
I would not want to raise a kid in New York.
No, I know.
Fuck that.
I mean, I'm of several minds because I do love New York because I think New York is sort of like it's like having shitty parents. It's like New York is New York and New York's parents are its population. And New York itself is amazing. It's just
I'm addicted to do it, bro. I fucking love it. I'm going back there. October.
It's the best. It's so fun, but just shitty people live there, and that's fine. But the shitty people sort of give New York its bad name, but the city itself is just
I love it and hate it.
Well, it's an incredible. I mean, I think
it's like dope. Honestly, it's like it can be addicting, but it can also be fucking great. Like that's why people do drugs is because they're great.
It feels good. I mean, I think it's a hotbed of like a certain kind of person in a good way. Like I think people who are, artists, writers, whatever, people who are just like don't want to do the thing that they maybe felt like they had to do, and they can go to a place like New York ideally and like discover something, and then you can find other like-minded people. And like the podcasting thing is a layer on top of that, where like it like killed it removed the geography from it in a good way, where I think like I'm not in New York right now, and I've missed it since I left like 3 years ago. But now I feel strangely like I miss it, but it doesn't matter because I'm kind of there in a weird way because of my like internet projects. Right. So I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's a weird, I don't know. It's all just in the head, but yeah, it's all.
So many of my friends are there, so it's always like,
and
we all keep up with each other in this weird digital space world. So it's like you said, I think that was you I was talking to where we were like, bro, like everybody knows each other. Like I was like, oh fuck, like you were telling me about someone. I was like, oh dude, I know those guys. Like
I'm sure you do. Yeah, I think I was in New York talking to
you. but people are fucking, some of the most loved people. That's what I was saying. It's like not everybody's gonna like. It's not even. Maybe actually I overestimate shit, but no, I'm not even gonna get in that. But no, I get along with basically everybody, actually. Or I don't know. Yeah. Everybody hates me.
Well, I think the other thing is that it's okay not to get along with people. And I feel like that should be more encouraged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like I would just look at what I look like and how I acted. I'm like, oh God, dude, like, what do you expect? Like, Jesus Christ, fucking. But then I'm like,
yeah,
people are just fucking haters, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, everybody knows each other, and it's like we live in one little town, is what you said, or something. Like we all live in one little city. It feels like
it does feel like that, and
like we're all neighbors.
Yeah, and it's I think that's just like a scene or something. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I forget how I directly came across yourself like online. It's just like how it goes. Like you're thumbing through, and like somebody posts something, but then the first thing you do now, at least the thing that I always do is, well, who are our mutual follows and stuff?
Of course, you go to your mutuals.
Yeah, and we have like 38 people in common. So I'm like, all right, like we're in the same like school district or something. It
is crazy how you literally have statistically, you'll find like it's like you'll have like 50 or 30 like people. Like I'm only following like 300 people.
Yeah.
So if you have like 50 mutuals with someone and you only follow 300 people, like that's a significant fucking little circle.
Yeah,
and that to me is like real quick. Sorry, let me.
Yeah,
I had to put my. Let me grab a lighter. Sorry.
Grab that shit. No, get your lighter, man. I just have matches.
God damn. Fucking target ass. Okay, I'm back. Hold up, fucking wait. Let me put this. All right. So my earbuds are back in. We're ready to rock and roll. We have a lighter. We're about to light the joint.
I love ambient pod noise, like lighting things.
Oh, dude, I took a piss in one of my episodes.
That's perfect. That's great. That's wonderful.
And we left it in. We had on this one girl who we had on. She said like, "Oh yeah, leave it in." I was like, "Okay, that'll be funny."
Yeah, why the fuck not? I mean, I think
people are into that shit, right?
There's no rules. Well, I just think there's no rules. Like I tend to, stuff that sounds like a podcast. I usually don't listen to it. You know what I mean? Like just sort of like, thank you for listening. This is John Michael, and today we have a esteemed author. Yeah, just like, I don't know.
I've been thinking about putting more music. I'm just such a lazy bastard. I just like to record it and like, oh, put it up. I don't want to fucking deal with it. I don't want to fucking, because I can't do it myself. I'm such a illiterate technologically. I have to tell my friend to do it. And I'm like, don't even bother, dude. Just put it up, put it on the Patreon, just put it up. Like all that matters is the conversation in the first place. Like I really take my podcast seriously. Yeah. I like come up with fucking questions and shit. I have some notes and questions for you, but I hate when people ask to see the fucking question. It's like, no, dude, I'll just have them and I'll ask you them.
That's interesting.
You don't need to see the goddamn questions before. Oh, make sure everything you're going to ask me is okay and approved.
It's like some media training. Yeah, no, these to me, I mean, look, everyone's different. Like Barrett has his style,
He's great, dude. Shout out to fucking him.
Big shout out to Barrett.
Big shout out.
But
let me on your podcast, motherfucker.
I feel like you two would get on.
Yeah, we are cool. We follow each other and we texted here and there. And I always tell people, always ask people if they come on. They're like, yeah, like sometime or whatever, and I just never get around to it. Well, like I asked Peter's supposed to come on my podcast like fucking like the past 2 years.
The master of
I've had him going for 2 years, but it's been literally a year since I've asked him to come on.
Who, the cum master?
Oh yes, Peter fucking Peter whatever Vac. He's Vac.
Peter Vac.
Peter Vac, master of cum.
Yeah.
He's one of the few people I liked in New York. He's also another New York Jew that I like.
He's a real one. Is he a Jew? I feel like I forgot that. Maybe. I have no idea.
I think so.
I think he must be.
That's so funny if he's not. I'm just like,
well, like, I mean,
shout out fucking another New York Jew. Like he's not Jewish.
Well, I think like, the things are cliches for a reason because they're true. And like a family from New York and they're all like in entertainment. Chances
His mom's like a psychoanalyst.
Yeah, there you go. It's
I'm like pretty sure that's the Jew thing.
Yeah, they're like their own. I mean, they literally are a movie. They like put themselves in their movies as a family. But yeah, that's cool. But yeah, Peter's a real one. Love that guy.
Yeah, we would talk psychoanalysis. I want to ask him, like, one of the questions I was going to ask him if he came on was like, what do you think, like, because there are a lot of people that say psychoanalysis and psychology is one big like Jewish conspiracy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I know you're into Freud and like psychoanalysis and shit. You've seen his movie, right?
Assholes?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking, yeah, that shit's dope, man. I need to have him on. I need to get back in touch with him.
I'll tell him that we're doing this together. And
I think I did. Cool. I talked to him not that long ago, and I was like,
oh, sweet.
I was like, yeah, fucking. I think I mentioned that me and you were doing a thing, or nice. I told him that I listened to your guys' thing together. And I was like, yo, you were cool on this.
That was fun. Yeah, I just had Betsy on. I got the whole family. I'm getting maybe go for mom and dad next.
Yeah, she's cool too.
Betsy's awesome.
I think I hung out with her a couple times.
Yeah, Betsy's the shit. She made an amazing movie.
They're both actors, right?
Very much so. But they're like,
oh yeah, she was in that fucking Epstein movie, right?
Yeah, the Dasha
Dude,
one.
I haven't seen that yet.
Neither have I. Apparently, don't feel bad. It's like apparently not available anywhere yet. Because I was like, shit, I don't even know where to watch it. But Betsy said
dude, but I know about this. I'm like real tied in, so like I knew this movie was. I knew when they were working on the fucking movie,
right?
And when it was all said and done, I had friends and shit that were like, "Oh yeah, I've watched it. And if I really wanted to, I could have asked and begged them to let me see it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure there's a Vimeo
but I just
link.
didn't. I tried. I kind of just am like sometimes I play the role of the card of like, oh, I'm too cool for that. Like I don't even care to ask anyone to let me see it.
Sure.
But I could have if I wanted to, just to flex.
Yeah. I feel like I'll see it eventually. I'd like to.
Of course,
I think Betsy's amazing.
I've seen that scene. Have you seen that scene that was trending on Twitter? This is so funny because like this is great because I wanted to talk about this on my podcast too and shit. But
this might be your podcast. We don't even know.
Dude, we can both post the same fucking audio. Honestly, that kind of be lame, but we could.
It's true. I mean, I'm leaning into guest mode, but I'm enjoying it. So you never know. I
don't get invited on people's shit that often. So I love that you're having me on. I really want.
Okay, then we'll do both. All right. Yeah, I got you. All right. Bet.
But fucking that scene where Dasha is like, it's her and fucking I think that Madeline girl. I think her name's Madeline, and they're both like sitting there, and Dasha's like, "Oh my God, there's Ghislaine." Or and then it's like Anna Katchin walking by playing Ghislaine Maxwell. That was so fucking funny to me when I seen that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I thought that was like a thing. I haven't seen it, and maybe you posted it. I saw a meme of that, maybe like even earlier today or the day before, and I didn't know it was real. But I love that. I didn't know that Anna played. She's kind of a good Ghislaine.
Yeah, right. I think someone said that. Someone like said that a long time ago. Like, oh, Anna Katchin is Ghislaine Maxwell or some shit. It's like a long going meme or whatever. But yeah, shout out to Anna Katchin. I love her. She just came on my friend's podcast, and I was like so fucking jealous.
Wait, who went on what's podcast? Who was it?
Fucking Anna Katchin.
She went on whose?
She went on my friend. His name is Class Redux Killer. That's what he goes by. He doesn't go by a name at all or any kind of real name. He goes by his Twitter handle, Class Redux Killer, and he's this anonymous Twitter account guy.
Yeah, I think I follow him.
You follow him?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had him on my podcast. He's one of my when we like did the season 2 like reboot of the podcast, which was like months ago. He was our first guy we had on. We were like, dude, you're a legend. We need to have you fucking on. I love him. He's my boy, but
that's cool.
His podcast, The Fed Post, they're kicking ass right now, and they just got on Anna Katchin.
That's awesome.
And I'm about to renew my fucking Patreon subscription so I can I just outed myself as a poor fucking motherfucker that can't even give my boy $5 a month on his shit. He probably think he is for mine.
I mean, $5 adds up, people.
Dude, fuck! I hate when people tell me that because I'm like, motherfucker, give me $5 a month, motherfucker. Like that's nothing, bro. Like you get you get to keep up with the podcast and everything, cool. And it's just like you don't even have to listen to the podcast. You're my friend. Fucking support me. Give me $5 a month. Like as I post on my story, I'm like, yo, if I see you watching my fucking story and you're not a patron, I'm gonna fuck you up when I see you, or I'm gonna block you. Or whatever. I'm gonna have somebody fuck.
I mean, most of my friends don't subscribe to the Patreon, but I've only recently
why is that?
started.
Do they feel like they're too cool for us, or what?
Well, to be honest, I generally wasn't paywalling anything. The first time I started paywalling shit was when
no free clout to lil bitch ass niggas
came on, and they were like, "Dude, paywall it, of course." And it felt like they paywall everything, so it was like, "All right, I'll do like a study. I'm gonna do a test," and it worked.
And you end up getting more patrons.
Yeah, way more. Yeah, and then I
used to not paywall anything either.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
So funny that you have to force people to do the right thing.
Well, people pay for fucking Netflix, and it's like this is hard for us. This is hard work right now. Like what we're doing is really hard, and we're like working hard, and like we're out here.
Dude, this is genuine shit, yo.
I know, man. Yeah,
people gotta pay for that shit. I mean, I've talked about it enough, how much of a real thing this is, and people kind of already know. But yeah, just to reiterate, And it's also one of the only platforms that they have not came for yet and started. They haven't been taking down anybody's podcast, really.
Yeah, that's true.
If you compare it to like Instagram and Twitter, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, there's so many ways to get people an MP3, you know? And I think, worst case scenario, there's ways to get that stuff out there. It does feel like pirate radio energy a little bit, which is why I like it.
It's Wild West.
Yeah, we're just broadcasting these transmissions, which aren't really like, I don't think they're scanned as readily as like an email or other things. I think that'll probably change at some point, but I think like I do feel more private, even though that might be an illusion, like having a conversation on a pod, especially if it's paywalled.
Oh yeah, when you're paywall the shit, we end
just
up always
say
putting it
whatever.
out for free, and we barely really change anything actually. Or sometimes we
Yeah.
really do. Sometimes we really do keep shit for the patrons. Like you have to pay. Like fuck
Right.
you. You can take this what I'm saying and go laugh at it with your friends, but fuck you. You still gave me $5 or
That's
$10.
Yeah, no,
You know
fair
what I mean?
enough.
So it's like, cause that's another thing. It's something about men. You know, my friend, the Perfect Nationalist, he just said this on his podcast. That fucking one of the things that men, I think, especially young men, is fucking embarrassment is one of the most horrible things you can go through as a man. Embarrassment.
Really?
You don't think so?
Nah, I mean, I think it depends how old
Or
you
at least
are.
comparably to like women. Women are like, more, it's like whatever, but a man, you're like supposed to be proud and manly and you're keeping up this facade more
No,
as
that's
than women
true.
do,
That's true.
There's more of a facade to keep up, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think I've been too many people or something. So I think there was a time when I kind of would want to feel embarrassed. Like it was like
like a post cringe type shit.
Yeah, I just was kind of like, I think it felt, I was just sort of, I mean, I was doing a lot of drugs. And I think with that comes like, you start analyzing everything tenfold. You're at a party and like,
Oh my God, dude.
you
dude.
hit that point where you've done all the drugs and suddenly you're like, I'm going to make this uncomfortable for everybody. Stuff like that. But I don't know if that, but then again, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a genuine embarrassing moment.
It's hard for me to think of them, but maybe that's because
Yeah.
I block them out.
I was just going to say that too.
Right?
It's possible.
So
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think also it's age. I think obviously when I was younger, I remember.
oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
like when you're really
get
young-
older, as you get older, I think as you get older, you just start to get less scared of just
Well, I think you just
anxiety
get
and
more
everything.
secure. Yeah, and I think the more you
Yeah,
feel, the
man.
harder you get. But
Or maybe you have like different points in your life. Like maybe when you're like, some people are like, fuck, when I was like in my 20s, I was so confident, da 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 da. But now that I'm in my 50s, maybe like single dads and shit. But I don't
Well-
know. I definitely think that that's a thing, man. Fucking men, one of the most horrible feelings for men in their experience of life is embarrassment.
yeah,
And I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah. Fucking, there's always this weirdo feeling of being a content creator that a group of the cool kids are just like looking at your shit and just laughing at you, and everyone, you're just a fucking laugh stock. It's like imposter syndrome shit,
yeah.
which you have
guess.
to get over if you're a content
no.
creator. This is not for you if
For
you
sure.
think like that. You know what I mean? Which that's what I had to get over.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Which the thing is, here's another thing. If they're even watching your shit, that's a good thing.
Right.
If they're laughing at it or if they're hating it, that doesn't matter. If you're getting people to watch, then that's a good thing, because so many people can't even get people to watch, even if they wanted to. Or I mean,
That's true.
It's so
Yeah, man. I'm definitely at the point now where I don't even like. I'm just like I feel off the rails and totally free, which I think is the place to
Man,
be.
I'm
for
not,
this.
man. I struggle with this
really?
so bad till this day.
Yeah, I think not giving a shit is really integral
Important.
to a pod.
For
For
a
me, at
podcast.
least.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
it is, dude.
because
You
I
know
think
what? That's a good point. I need to start
Yeah.
literally not giving a fuck less. Even I always tell people that. I'm such a hypocrite.
Well,
I'm
because
like,
everything is an
"Dude,
illusion. You
You
know?
have to be, you're so scared of getting in trouble, bro. Like, be crazy, say crazy. And then I'm so goddamn scared to say, still like,
Yeah.
because I've experienced already weirdo shit and like haters on the internet
Right.
and,
Do you have
insane people.
You got some? What's your like? What's like? Give me like a top hater moment. Like, what's the?
Dude,
What's
I
been the
couldn't even
most
fucking
memorable?
start, bro, honestly.
Just because of what you're saying, like they're like takes
I
they're
guess.
responding to.
I
or-
don't know, man. It's fucking like So here's the thing, fucking. I guess the best way to describe it is okay. Well, like it's just like it all kind. I don't know. Once we started doing the podcast or whatever, like I used to write like a blog that was really kind of like anonymous. I had a small Twitter account, very small following. I kind of just wrote. But then once we started doing the podcast and we made an Instagram account for the podcast and the meme shit, and it kind of popped off pretty quickly. And I mean, I don't know, you know, you talk to you meet girls, you meet fucking friends, and I don't know, weird.
It's like being in a band.
It's just people see this too. People are also seeing this and they're jealous. Right. They're very jealous. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? He just comes in and fucking, you know, he's from nowhere. You know, my parents are rich. I'm from New York. And I try as hard as I fucking can. Still, no one gives a fuck what I have to say. This kid just comes in. He's not even from here, and he just comes in and fucking kicks everybody's ass, like in the game and shit. That, you know, everybody's interested in him for a second, or, you know. And it's like it's like, so. Look, the thing: if people love you, they're gonna hate you.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're doing, I guess. I mean, if you're doing like the cultural commentary stuff.
Oh, dude,
like,
I also I say just crazy shit politically all the time, man, on Instagram and shit. So of course people hate me for that. They think I'm an alt-right. Like,
well, I think that's just the new punk in a way. I think like online.
But some people call me fascist, you know, like fascist, white supremacist shit. And I'm just like, dude, I'm a black supremacist. What the fuck are you talking about?
I was just gonna say, like, pretty sure you're a black guy.
You got it all wrong, Playboy, or they, them person, whatever the fuck you are that's criticizing me. You're probably a they, them person.
Is alt black?
She, her, she, them, she, he thing.
Yeah.
Monstrosity.
I just think there's a lot. I think, I see what you're doing. I mean, I think there's a lot of, I don't know, man, there's a lot to get angry at these days. And I think for me, and this is just speaking for my little weird thing, I just like fucking hanging with people and like getting into some shit, which feels like it very rarely gets political. Like only, I don't know, I guess because it's like, I'm at this point now where I went through a phase of like only wanting to talk about that. And then now I'm just like, I just want to fucking just get into it. I feel like getting constructive again is like a nice turn toward like making shit, talking to people who make shit you respect, and like meeting people that you find interesting, and then like getting offline and like meeting them in real life.
Oh, and that to me is the like meeting these people in real life.
Yeah, man. I've been doing a lot of that, which has been really fun. And just, again, it just adds a layer. Like even right now, like what we're doing, in my mind, we're just sort of at a bar. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not, there's no there's not even like a performance for me.
Well, eventually we will hang out in real life.
Of course. Definitely. And I feel like for me,
every one of my friends on here, eventually we will.
Totally.
It's just the COVID shit is such a weirdo fucking thing right now. And like, it's kind of fucking a thing. And, I don't know. Plane tickets are really cheap right now. They're like $30 fucking.
That's true.
Go halfway across the country.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I went to New York end of July for no reason, just to kind of go hang. And like, I mean, I get it. Like the COVID
I go back
stuff.
and forth to New York all the time.
Where, how close from the city are you without we can bleep it out. But I mean, I think
it's such a weirdo trip. Like I said, man, this weirdo fucking hater shit. Like, I don't know. These people are scary sometimes, man.
I'm really curious about your hatership.
Okay, we'll get into it. So fucking,
what's your hatership all about?
Okay, well, like I said, you can just look at my posts. Like I'm a fucking like.
Yeah, I get it. Well,
like, that's how I got here in the first place.
Yeah.
No one would have. You see, it's like the Joker thing. No one cared until I put on the mask, or isn't that the quote? Like, no one cared until I put on the. See, that's the thing, man. No one really cared. Like, I didn't really pop off until I just started like posting, like not giving a fuck.
Right.
Really doing it, like how I do it now.
Pure feed posting.
Yeah, and you know, fucking you know, people are also tied into personality. You know, it's also about being cool and about you know, fucking being cool and fucking I don't know and you know the haters. You know, it's just like yeah, dude. Okay, so look, this whole group of like my friends, the Fed Post, Systems to Systems, you know, Adam Lear, totally. All of my friends, man, the Perfume Nationalists, fucking, or all these people that also like, and I even look up to, you know, that I've had on my podcast. You know, hey, look, all these people that I see also dealing with the same kind of bullshit that I went through, I get them, I have them come on my podcast.
Right.
That's what I've been doing with every single one of my fucking guests lately. You know, it's just all the same shit, man. These people are crazy. You know, they'll just say bull-faced lies. I don't know, man. It's like, it's literally just like they can literally just like say gnarly shit, you know, and it's just lie. I mean, it's just gnarly. I mean, think about the things people can do if they really wanted to when they get in group chats and can spread disinformation about people.
Yeah, they could pretty much do anything they want. I feel like you're getting at something specific. It's not like I'm a
politician. Like I have a huge following. I have a tiny little fucking following.
Well,
I make just enough money on my Patreon. You know, just enough people fuck with me.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even make that much money, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. I think people are just LARPing some shit.
No, they think that they're doing, that's why they go so hard, is because they think that what they're doing is morally justified and morally righteous.
Well, they think they see examples of this stuff like in the culture at large, or it's like, oh, cancellation thing. So then they rally into like a small pack and they look for stuff like something to do. I mean, it's basically just like a game. I think it's very gamified. Like, oh, this person's like you are saying like provocative things that are like, I mean, designed to trigger people, basically. I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree with most of them, but it's like, I don't agree with all of them. But at the same time, it's like, that's the point. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like I have so many friends who like politically are on the opposite end of things, although I'm like always back and forth. But like,
what's so funny is I never talk about politics in real life. I love to hang out. I hang out with all different kinds of people.
That's how I feel, man.
A lot of the girls I talk to and their friends, they're like they, thems and liberals. And it's like, sometimes I'm like always like tripped out, like, oh my God, like your friend follows my account. Like she must not really pay attention or do it like, or I don't know. These people don't go, I don't know. It's trippy. Sometimes, who cares? I love it. I have all different kinds of fans. A lot of them are fucking young, they, them kids. I love it. I don't give a fuck. It's all funny. It's all like, I don't give a shit. Like, it's all just kind of like a funny thing or whatever. But anyway, what was I saying? Fucking,
we were finishing the whole thing on your hater, on the hater.
Yeah, cancel culture shit. Fucking, fucking a lot of my friends, they can be liberals or what. I also, in fucking, where I'm from, fucking, in the hood and shit, they'll be fucking, there could be white trash people, MAGA people, there could be black people, and a lot of black people from the hood are pro-Trump, honestly.
Right.
Is what people don't realize.
That's how, I feel like that information is there if people want it. I feel like most people don't want to know that.
They ignore it. They ignore that that's the truth.
Well, it's against the, I get that.
A lot of, a lot of black people from the hood are pro-Trump, and it's like, yeah, fucking, I'm not necessarily completely pro-Trump. I like Trump because he's like this cultural thing. He's just like, a fuck you or whatever. He's honestly better than the Democrats. Honestly, I could give a trillion reasons on China and 1,000 different things about how he's better, literally better, materially better for the world than the Democrats are. Okay, but whatever. Let's not even get into that. But fucking, but it's like, I'm not even pro-Trump. But let's say I'll fucking hang out with pro-Trump people. I'll smoke weed. I'll sell weed, I'll smoke weed with fucking pro-Trump people. Fucking, I'll smoke weed with Biden people. Fucking, or fucking, who gives a fuck? I'm like, I'm hanging out. Like, I don't want to get into politics in real life. I do my internet shit, and that's my job. That's like my job. I make a little money off it, and I'm trying to do it as a career. Fucking that's that. I don't even like to talk about work in real life.
I mean, I just think we can't loop. I just think like I don't really group people according to like what the fuck they vote for. I don't know. I just think like that.
Isn't it hard not to kind of in this weirdo fucking thing?
Yeah, but I think I've gotten used to it. I think like there was a time when I've been a lot of different people, and at one point I was like I definitely was like a bleeding heart liberal in like 2015. But then like
that's a great year to be on.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's also like things happen in the world, and more than politics, you just start to think for yourself more, and you're just like, man, you know what? Like all of this is bullshit. Like all of this. And
that's
you're
also
just
why
buying
I love
into
Trump.
It.
2016, ever since 2016, everything changed, man. Especially like how I thought about everything.
Yeah. My issue with that guy has nothing to do with him as even like the obvious thing. Like, I just think like what he did, it needed to happen, but I think he like, he kicked the door down on the very thin layer of like trust we had in the thing, of a thing that's broken and fucked. But I think people had like built a very like, safe barrier around that idea. And then he just very easily like went pop and just like, it fell down. And now everyone's fucking freaking out and like pulling their heads off and like acting insane.
Right.
But beyond that, but I think, you know, like him or like Alex Jones or anyone, like I understand that, like that brand,
No, Alex Jones
you know?
is even better than Trump. Okay, so
Yeah,
I'll explain my whole thing of why Trump's cool, like, and how it's kind of cool, you know, pro Trump, you know, that's kind of cool or whatever. No, Alex Jones is sincerely the shit. Okay, that's another conversation.
But aren't these guys just entertainers?
Fuck no, dude. Alex Jones is a real fucking reporter. Okay, so yes, I used to have this little stupid dirtbag left Alex Jones is kind of funny, he's cool. No. Recently, I have realized he's actually a good fucking reporter ever since he was fucking like a teenager.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man.
I saw the
dad
young
has actually
photo.
been involved with the government
guy.
shit. It's fucking crazy. He's actually a good reporter. Dude, have you seen when he broke into goddamn, I sound like Alex Jones fucking drunk rambling right now.
Go for it.
But fucking, have you seen the documentary where he broke into goddamn, you know, what was it called?
I don't think
he broke into the goddamn, that cult thing, where they burned the owl effigy. You got to know what I'm talking about.
I haven't seen it. I mean,
you might not haven't seen it, but you know what I'm talking about, though. That he did that.
Yes,
that's real reporting right there, man. What's it called? It's some Masonic law. It's something, man. All the presidents fucking go to that shit, man.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, Richard Nixon. He has a quote where he says, "Oh man, it was the most faggy shit I've ever saw," or some shit. Because you know they like fuck little boys or they fuck like each other there or some shit. It's men only. And like all the most fucking George Bush and some of the most powerful people in the world go to this cult thing.
Yeah, I mean,
and Alex Jones broke into that motherfucker. What year is this? I kind of want to look up, but I also hate when. I also kind of like that when you can hear typing.
Yeah, tell Jamie, pull that shit up.
Jamie, pull that shit up, dude. I love Joe Rogan.
It's funny. I fell off with Joe. I
did too because I kind of fell off with everything.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I've watched Joe since goddamn. I mean,
same. No, in 2008,
since he started, bro. I mean, I've been a Joe Red for I've been like really, really into Joe Rogan. Like, he actually, I actually owe him a lot of credit to like my intellectualism. That's just because you know, it's just my generation or it's just goofy internet shit. Like, I really, dude, like fucking being into like shrooms and DMT and like looking into cool shit. Like, man, that was a big part of why I'm even into fucking any of this shit, into politics and all this shit, man.
Yeah.
And Vice, sadly, I hate to say that.
I mean, we get inspired by whatever it is,
but they used to be really cool.
Used to be a skate magazine. Yeah, I mean, it was a very different thing. But it's like, you know, you get some shareholders, there goes your whole fucking face.
Well, dude, do you know that what's his name owns Bill Gates, the Jewish guy? Goddamn, not Bill Gates, but fucking start naming these guys off the top of your head. Who are some of the most richest? Who's like, you know, an alt-right or like a lot of the right-wing conspiracy guy? George Soros.
Yeah, Soros.
Soros literally owns a lot of Vice. You can look this shit up. And when I started to find this shit out, that's when it was really like black, red pill. You know, like, oh God, like.
Yeah, I mean,
what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, there's these weirdo conspiracies about, running, like, I don't fucking know, man. It's this weirdo shit. Like, why? Okay, George Soros is giving Vice, this liberal thing, fucking millions of dollars a year?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, all that shit's bought. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I tend to believe what I can see and what I hear, and like the rest of it, I'm like, that makes sense. I'm just going to go forward though. And I think, yeah, like all of these institutions are dying and like the news is broken. So everyone's like, all right, how do we maintain any kind of narrative? Well, then it's just like more paid shit. So like everything we get from all these big companies, to me, it's a logical thing, not even like a conspiracy thing. I'm like, yeah, like it's all just the official like voice of a party of whatever. So I just don't even listen to any of it or read any of it. I don't even know where I don't even know, like my news source is just what's trending on Twitter. I'm like, oh, who died? Where is the hurricane? What award ceremony is today? You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, good to know. And the rest are just podcasts and books.
Podcasts, yeah.
You know?
Well, dude, I get a lot of my shit from podcasts too. I mean, and some people really do a good job of keeping up with shit and, you know, fucking and telling and giving good points on things like Red Scare, man. They are genuinely the shit because they genuinely have, ever since they started, they're genuinely two smart women that fucking articulate things about the culture and politics in a fucking funny and in a funny way, in a fucking funny and smart way.
Yeah, I used to get my news from them for a little while. I think when I wanted to like really know what was going on. To be honest, I kind of fell off a little bit. I have nothing but
dude, what is like, I kind of don't listen to anything anymore, man.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm making podcasts all the time.
Right.
I think it's kind of like music in that way, like, because I played music before, and I think there's something about when you're like in the process of making shit, you actually stop consuming that medium because you just kind of are like doing.
You're sick of it, maybe.
That, but I think it's also just like it's like when you're when you're shitting, you don't like. I've never eaten while I shit. At least some people can do that, but like I think if you're shitting, you're not eating, and if you're puking, you're not. And it's like if it's coming out, nothing like what's going in is different or something. I'm watching more movies and like stuff like that, or I'm just like recording pods all the time. Like I recorded one last night. I'm doing Tom Tuna. I think I'm gonna talk to Tom tomorrow.
Oh, I was gonna have you guys on the same episode.
I know, man. I know. And then Ben, what's his name? Ben Schill.
Ben Schill, yeah.
Yeah, he just DM'd me out of the blue, just like saying what up, and it's all like we
got all four of us get on a pod, dude.
I think that would be fun. I think
that would
also,
be really good.
Yeah,
me and Ben Schill are from the same city.
Oh no shit! I don't know anything.
Dude.
I've followed his like art for a long time, but I don't know who he is.
Dude, he's actually okay. Shout out to Ben fucking Schill. He was supposed to. We were in the same city, and then like his flight got fucked up or some dumb shit. But we've been goddamn supposed to do an episode 2 for like the past year.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, he's a cool. Yeah, I don't know shit about him. I just like that this is a way that people are finding each other now, and I think that's like a good thing against all the crazy like political stuff, which ultimately is like putting us all in little camps. I think if we can like get away from that stuff and have like more conversations, it's like the politics is irrelevant because you can actually hang with anyone. Like at least you should be able to, if you're not like possessed by like demons,
You know what? I always talk about how bad it is and polarization, but we would not have a audience if it really was that bad because, like a lot of our audience is really cool and like really like our patrons and shit. They all come from different political things and they all get along and talk and it's great. It's fucking, I love the little fucking universe, like
it's
scene
cool.
that we've created.
It's
fucking,
cool.
It's amazing, man. I fucking, and like I said, and like you were saying, like the people you meet and everything and like how we all met each other and like me, you, and fucking Tom and fucking Ben need to fucking get on this fucking shit and fucking do an episode like. Dude, I think that's the shit, man.
To get a crew together would be fun.
Shit.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I also like the audio only thing personally. Like video's fine, but like I'm like a person with I'll do a thing like that, but there's something there's something kind of nice about just
audio only.
You know what I mean? I really like
totally.
it. I really like it. I have actually I don't think I've even ever recorded a podcast in the room with someone before. Like people want to now.
With, you might know, do you know who Blue Hunt is?
Yeah, I've been hanging out with Blue actually.
No shit, that's great.
Yeah, a lot of mutual friends. Was she on your pod?
Yeah, she's on one of our. You're a patron, I'm pretty sure, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
man.
If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, she's one of our first fucking guests.
No shit.
Yes, dude.
How did that happen? What was the connect? Doesn't matter.
I was friends. Yeah. I'm friends with. Who cares? Let's not even get into that. Actually,
yeah, we don't want to.
Dude, that's another fucking thing. It's everybody knows each other. It's this weirdo fucking thing. You can talk to one girl and it's fucking over. Like, it's
man.
Fucking weirdo shit. I don't fucking no, but. It's not even like I don't even know. It's not even that bad. Actually, it's fine. We all get along. Like it's actually not that big of a deal. Like fucking, I have a lot of friends.
I feel like anything goes, man.
There's just a whole bunch of fucking drama. I don't know. Fucking what was going on with fucking Kyle? This guy named Kyle and this girl named how do you pronounce her name?
You can't
Caroline
say her name.
Callaway.
Here's the thing. I've come to believe, and actually, it's not my idea. Someone else told me this, but her name is like saying Beetlejuice. So you don't want to say it. It's very dangerous to say her name.
I don't fucking know anything about this.
No,
shit.
I'm just joking around. But the point is, if you say it, she appears or something. Like you don't want her to appear.
I don't. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I want to stay away from that shit. Good idea.
Let's
not even talk about that shit.
No, she doesn't really deserve airtime. Kyle does. Kyle's the shit. Kyle's a cool mother. Kyle's a great dude.
No, I think I'm not even gonna. I didn't even okay. So I don't even think I knew. I didn't know anything about this shit. I didn't know who it was. So whoever's listening, it's fine. I didn't even know what the deal is. It was kind of like, I don't care. I just get drunk and I'm texting, DMing people. Anyway, I DM'd Kyle and I just said, bro, I got your back. Whatever this is. Or I just said, I believe you. Cool. Or I was just like, I support you. I think I said, I support you. That's or cool. Something. I just hate fucking seeing people like, talking shit. Cause I was just seeing a bunch of these people talking shit. And I was just like, oh man. And I think I think I have friends that are friends with him, and I was just like, you know, and that sometimes you can make a friend just like yo, what happened? What's going on? I don't know. And he just it was just funny. I don't know. We don't have to talk about it. I don't know.
It's cool. All I'll say is like I don't think anything happened, and that's the point, you know. And it like went away because like it's not based on anything. People are bored, you know, and people look for something it seems to
like
do.
It's something weird if we don't talk about it. Like it's something crazy.
Fuck it. We'll just move on. Yeah, it's some internet bullshit. But segue. Kyle himself is an amazing dude. We actually recorded a pod which we haven't released, which is sort of just like sitting.
Why haven't you released it?
We recorded it like around the time of that thing that we won't talk about.
A whole bunch of wild shit. We're like, oh,
yes
fuck,
and
we
no.
can't post this.
He just kind of felt like. He's
dude. Do you know how many times that's happened on
guy.
our shit? We've had so many cool guests on, and we were just like, oh, like we had such a great time, and it was so good. But then we were just like, oh, this is way too much to take out.
Well, yeah, I mean that's
we
the
like,
thing.
Fuck it, we can't post this, or at least we're gonna paywall the shit out of it, like $10 Patreon, motherfucker.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I think shit. if people take a shot every time we say like Jewish or Trump, they'll get drunk. But like, you know what I mean? Like you can listen to some other podcasts, get people. You know, it's like anything goes. But Kyle's a great guy and he's a great writer. And that to me is all I really care about.
Right.
He takes his shit seriously and I think he's a good guy. So
I always think if there's some cancel culture shit that this person is actually going to be cool and that whatever these people are saying is exactly the opposite and wrong. Yeah.
It tends to be it does have the opposite effect.
It's honestly been that case so many times that it's like, well, Jesus, like you'd be unreasonable to think otherwise. Yeah,
man. No, I feel that. I mean, it's a funny
big thing, man. This cancel culture shit, how they use that shit, man. I think it's also a lot of CIA fucking back shit too.
Fuck, man. I have no idea. What I do know is that people don't think for themselves.
I can blackpill you.
I mean, honestly,
you won't be able to sleep at night.
I'm pretty black. I mean,
you'll quit the podcast shit right now. You'll be like, this is not for me.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty black. I mean, I will be honest. Like, again, I've gone
Are you
through,
schizo-pilled?
Like wet brained.
Are you schizo-pilled? Or is that a wet brain thing?
I thought that skitz was theirs, but maybe not.
No, I'm saying schizo-pilled, which is a like thing in its own. I don't think that's their shit specifically.
I don't think I'm schizo-pilled. Can you try to schizo-pill me and see if it works?
Yeah.
Is that something we want to do?
Okay, well, I mean, no.
You have let's do it like a game show. You have like 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
You have 10 minutes to schizo-pill the guy from Vicious Circle.
And then you have to try to schizo-pill me. And we just freak each other out. We just take a bunch of mushrooms and try to freak each other out and tell each other CIA conspiracies.
Yeah, I'm on that clear pill these days. We're like, I'm just all the bickering in the institution stuff. I find to be like so, like yes, the government controls everything. Yes, it's true. Yes, the conspiracies are generally true. In fact, most of the shit Alex Jones says is probably true as well.
Literally true.
But my thing is like
he
all
like
of that
literally is like rarely wrong. It's actually kind of scary.
But I guess my point is even like in the face of all that, I'm still just like on my clear pill, like doing my shit, doing my life. Because like what the fuck? Am I gonna go bomb the fucking I guess I probably shouldn't say that out loud. Am I gonna go like do some terrible thing somewhere? Like no, like I'm gonna raise my family. Terrible
things somewhere in Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise my family and like do my shit, you know, and like live my life and talk about things that I'm interested in and you know like what turns me on and like that's
We're
it.
hardcore Fed posting right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Sick. I don't even know what that means. I haven't listened to that pod. Are we Fed posting?
I think they named it after already a thing. Like Fed posting is like you're a Fed, like you're a glowy. And glowy means like you glow in the dark. Like you're such an obvious Fed that you glow. Like we see you, we notice you're a Fed. You're trying to, you know how Feds, they try to blend in on the internet or whatever. It's like, oh, you're a glowy. It's a stupid schizo fucking internet thing. But it all starts out as ha, funny schizo thing. And then you end up finding out that this shit was real. Actually, just earlier today or yesterday, Glenn Greenwald was just tweeting about this. One of the people that was arrested at the fucking Capitol on January 6th was a FBI agent. Did you hear about this?
I didn't, but I'm not surprised to hear that. That's the thing, I guess.
And actually, they end up finding that, yeah, a lot of these alt-right guys that are running these organizations were fucking FBI agents.
I mean, it makes sense. You know,
Isn't
that to me makes
crazy. I mean, what the fuck? I think this is a great podcast. This is what I want to talk about. I love that it's like. I also love how freeform this is.
Yeah, bro, we're just hanging. Like, it's like we're sitting at a bar. It's like, okay, there's a bar.
This is literally a bar. I'm taking shots of Bacardi. You're drinking tequila.
Yeah, I've got my tequila. I got my fucking smoke. I'm sitting here like we're just in this fucking
like back
hole in the
day
wall.
when like people, there was so much cigarette smoke in the air. People used to be able to kind of like smoke joints in the bar.
Hell yeah.
In the 70s when the weed was still kind of like not that good and you couldn't kind of blend it in with the cigarette smoke.
Just smoking in a bar is like a really romantic idea.
Could you imagine like walking around the mall smoking a cigarette?
Well, I'm old enough that like I don't know how old you are.
Do you remember? Well, were you old enough in which you were able to smoke like and just walk around the goddamn mall?
Yeah, not the mall. I don't know about smoking in malls, but I would smoke in the bar all the time.
Well, like I remember when that still stopped. Smoking bars?
Typically, I mean, not in like major city, like places like New York and shit.
You literally cannot smoke in any bar in New York.
I do. I mean, I still do.
Are you allowed to?
No.
I don't really go to that many bars, honestly.
I mean, I think actually, to be honest, I take that back. No one's smoking it. It's like a crowded party is different than a bar. But I typically, what I'll do, I have a new move that I've been trying out as I've been going out more, is if it's a really crowded bar or party and there's no smoking, there's like, I don't want to go outside, I sit on the floor. So like no one actually can see me. It's all these people standing up. I sit on the floor with like a friend and we smoke a cigarette and no one knows that we're there. It's amazing. You're like in a forest full of people and like no one knows you're there and you're just like puffing on a cigarette and then you stand up and you're done. It works.
That sounds great.
It fucking works actually. And people look at you like artists. But
see, when I did have my little, I had a couple of times where I was kind of like smoking cigarettes, like kind of every day. I just kind of kicked it so easily, but it was like, I was hanging around certain people. And I was like, okay, doing this little weird thing. You know how it goes. Sometimes
cigarettes are gross.
Weird thing.
I just like smoking cigarettes with girls.
Yeah, right. Or after sex or something.
Yeah, or even just like,
yeah, dude.
Just as
right
it's after,
like or right after eating or right after sex.
Yeah,
and isn't that the most primitive, two primitive things? And that's the best cigarette. A cigarette after dinner and a cigarette after sex.
It's true. I also like the kind of cigarette with someone.
Same thing with joints.
Yeah, it's true. But also like the casual smoke with someone because it gives you an excuse to like do something together. It's sort of like it's like
light your cigarettes together and sit there and smoke outside. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Or you're like sitting on the floor of some bar talking, and she's like, "Wow, this guy's pretty weird," and she likes that. But anyway,
oh yeah,
smoking's fun. It's all those little social things are there for a reason. It's like it's all there to get people pregnant, basically. But
oh yeah.
Do you want to black pill me? Would you want to try that or schizo pill? Or
let's think about it. Fucking
you got to really put it together because I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and then at the end of the 5 minutes, that might not be enough time. We'll see what happens because I'm pretty.
Maybe that'll be too much time.
I've been through it.
I don't know. Fucking because here's the thing.
Okay.
Like, let's say like okay. I came to you, like you gave me like 2 nights just to come up with some shit and like put some shit together.
Make a presentation.
Okay, I'll fucking slide you like let's say we meet at some diner somewhere.
Yeah.
Right, and we're both in trench coats.
You have a manila envelope.
Exactly. I slide it to you on the fucking table, and you look through these things and you're horrified. You're sitting there just like, what the fuck, like a movie.
I mean, is this like photos of dead babies and like?
I like horrible, crazy shit. You ever seen True Detective?
Yeah, of course.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I want to talk. I always want to talk about True Detective on pod. Fucking never talk about that enough.
Hell yeah, time is a fat circle, as Honor says.
A fat circle, yo.
Yeah, it's a nice misquote. I like that one. Yeah, man. First season was great. I don't know if I watched the other ones.
I literally tried watching the second season. I just couldn't get through. I've two separate times in which I tried to watch the second season, and I just couldn't get through it. I love the first season. The first season is like I think it's like part of my fucking like DC universe.
Yeah, I might rewatch that one. I also think that was very ahead of its
season
time.
All the time. I've rewatched it probably 3 different times now.
McConaughey's character kind of personifies the like meme admin now. The like,
oh
really,
yeah, right. He's also the skits pilled thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, he's that guy.
He is the definition of skits pilled. Right.
Okay, got it. He's just seen it all.
I'm Matthew McConaughey. You're fucking
Am I Woody?
Woody Harrelson. Yes, because you know Woody Harrelson at first. You know, so okay, you've seen it. So that's the thing. Is like Matthew McConaughey. He's the nihilistic. Oh, everything's bad. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And then Woody Harrelson's like the normie guy. But you know, fucking, I'm just saying that because I don't know. That's kind of like an obvious. It's kind of like a funny. Like you just. You can just tell by just us talking from right here that okay, this one of us is fucking like scarily into this shit, and one of us probably just is like healthily into this shit, which is a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing.
I mean, I just don't. Because
like I said,
I just don't care
once you find this shit out, you never know that.
I guess the truth is, I just don't. It doesn't like. It doesn't fill my life with like the stuff I want. Because I used to rant and rave about the things I would discover on the internet, which generally I'm sure were true and probably similar things that you're going to say. But I just, at some point, my like attention span shifted, and I just want to like, I don't know. There's no other way to put it than I'm just interested in like beautiful, fucked up shit, or like really good movies, or I don't know, or just like some weird thing.
Let's just level one black pill, the Epstein shit.
Okay.
Like that's bullshit. That's like people have been knowing that shit since like the 90s, man. Like that's nothing compared to like the crazy gnarly shit that's really going on.
Well, I also think like the Epstein shit is probably barely even a toe into the thing.
The iceberg, tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, but I think, and this is like, maybe I'm just like Daria in this equation where I'm just like, whatever. But like, it seems like the fact that the billionaires or the trillionaires or whoever Lemaires are so rich that the only thing left to acquire is like a thing that is basically like, that represents like immortality and like the forbidden, which are literally children, you know what I mean? And I think like, because they can have anything, but like, what's the one thing they can't have? So like the fact that that's become some like fucked up dark ass currency, that just kind of plays into the way I think the world works. And it's like quite dark and upsetting, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not like, oh my God, really? What? Do you know what I mean? I guess it's the surprise. I'm like, I don't feel the surprise. I feel the disgust. And like, I listened to True Anon pod for a while. Like,
oh yeah, same.
Like kind of, I guess around the time it was actually really happening. Like even before
when it was
Epstein
actually
died.
relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. When it was going on, like I remember, I mean, I was a bleeding heart liberal here
Same.
and there.
I was on that leftist bullshit.
Yeah, but then I was also in line at a gun store during COVID listening to True Anon in my headphones with a bunch of other dudes, and it was like 5 a.m. You know what I mean? Because we wanted to get there early. So it's like I've been on like all different, I feel like I've tried out all kinds of chairs. And this shit's fucked up. The worst part is it's like
you're like that meme of that guy who like goes across the whole political compass fucking.
Yeah, like Forrest Gump. I mean,
oh yeah, I love that. That's an underrated movie, man.
Yeah, but you know, he just kind of, you're always kind of present. But I guess, I mean, the insane thing for me, the thing that can rile me up and get my blood pressure up is like, just how like in the open this stuff is and how ignored it is, and that no one is accountable for anything. And you can apply that to everything. You know what I mean? Like whether it's like the healthcare things, COVID, like science, like. The people are just fucking up in the open and no one is responsible or being held accountable except for like kids who are like forced to wear masks, you know what I mean? And they have to deal with that shit. Anyway, I have lots of the COVID stuff actually, because I'm a dad. That's probably where I get really fired up because I just think,
dude, the COVID is the most schizo pilling, crazy black pilling, red pilling, fucking crazy shit, man.
I mean, I'm already there then because I mean, I'm definitely, and again, I live in LA. I'm surrounded by like sort of like parents.
The liberals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surrounded by.
You're in liberal fucking Ville, man. LA. I mean, New York.
If I referred to someone else as a liberal in front of someone else, they would then be like, "Oh, that means you're not
like you're a fucking right winger, MAGA person."
No, I've seen people like do that math in their eyes when I'm like at dinner.
I know, dude.
It's pretty funny.
I know.
Yeah, but at the same time, but those people are like lost anyway. So I'm just kind of like whatever. But I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, man, the COVID stuff really does. I catch myself ranting and raving, like walking through the kitchen, you know, just because like I see what it's doing to children, like on the ground, literally. Like, yes, people are dying from all kinds of stuff, but like, all I'm saying is like, in my other half, my girl, her father's like a very renowned doctor, and so he's in the medical circles. He's been reading the journals since the beginning. So like, I ask him very like pointed and direct questions, and every time I ask him directly, I'm like, "Are masks making a difference?" He's like, "No, the data does not really show that."
God.
And I'm like,
you know,
okay.
they said that. The CDC said that at first.
Man. But they say all this stuff, but then it's like, if you open medical journals, you know what I mean? And the problem is people use things like the curve and all these things to like, as a way to like prove points, but that is not how like data works. Do you know what I mean? I just think like people are reinventing what it means to like do science or like, you know, take a fucking survey. I'm like, where are you getting this information from? And like, who's paying for it? And like,
yes,
but again, like, that's the fucking world we're in. And like, I take solace in the fact that it's crumbling for sure. You know, I think we're witnessing that. And I don't see that as like a bad thing at all. I think it's totally inevitable. For me, it's like, when's the right time for me to take my family, get the fuck out of here? So like,
where would you go? Maybe you don't want to release that on public.
Deep in the country somewhere where there's like lots of land and people aren't like being hunted for their beliefs.
Yeah, you know? Dude.
So like, you know, that answers that question.
Dude, that's it's not going to be very long until they're literally like, yes, okay, who the fuck is a right winger? Let's identify who's a right winger or who's just not a liberal, and we will kill you.
But all these words mean something else.
Or we will make it. We will make it. We will make your life unlivable if you don't want the vaccine. Like I want to go to New York, and like all my friends are like, dude, you're not gonna be able to do shit out there if you don't have the vaccine.
It's true.
Oh, dude.
I mean, but I'm also
what the
like,
fuck.
But on that note, you know, I am still of several minds about it. Like, I don't believe the vaccine is a conspiracy. Do you know what I mean? I think that the way they're going about this is retarded.
Well, dude, do you think that you should have the freedom to be able to fucking not get the vaccine?
100%.
Okay, well then here's the thing. Here's this fake idea of like, it's like this democracy idea of like liberal democracy. It's actually a fucking bullshit scam because they go, okay, we'll let you have the decision of like if you want to have the vaccine, right? Okay, cool. But okay, let's say you choose not to get the vaccine. Okay, you can't come into any of these restaurants. You literally can't.
I get it. Yeah, you're not a citizen.
You literally can't do anything.
Right. But I just think, like,
I mean, can actually, like, it's actually crazy if you actually look at actually the things that they will not let you do. It's like, oh my god, they will not let you live. How are you supposed to fucking live? And
that's
eat?
It's
what the
bullshit.
fuck is going on?
But I guess my point is like to zoom out from the politicking and like ultimately, and again,
this is always a funny question to me. This is always a funny question I have. What exactly is politics? Like, how is this different from culture, and how is this different from anything else we're talking about? When exactly does it become political?
Well, I think the problem is that the political system predates the internet. So right there, that's a bit of an issue because like the way that we are sharing information, getting information, coming up with ideas, releasing information, like just like the whole process, that system only really worked if there were like 8 cable news channels, and then you had these other things, and like there were like the conservative ones, and then there were the liberal ones, and it was like it wasn't a war. It was just like, you know, do you want vegetables or do you want meat? And it was like, oh, I'm gonna go for, you know what I mean? Like that was kind of how it was, even though like like at a dinner party somewhere there were like 2 uncles fighting over politics, but that's all it was. But now, because of the internet, people have had to go insane basically. So like I think in a different time, like if COVID had happened before internet was like even, or social media rather, like broke our brains, like to me it's logical. Like the true science is that yes, having the vaccine means you will have a lessened bout of COVID, and it could definitely and probably save your life. But the issue isn't that. The issue is a country trying to force people to do something. And then with like simple psychology, like if you do that, people are going to push back and be like, fuck you. But then you're actually hurting people by doing that. You know what I mean? So it's like this like save everyone mentality that is a very democratic, like Dems thing. You're actually like ostracizing people. You know what I mean? Like I'll go to a fucking,
that is a very important point.
Yeah, but I'll like go to the playground with my son, and I don't I'll wear a mask if I walk into a liquor store or a restaurant, and they're like, yeah, you can't come in without it. I'm like, sorry, I'll put it on, then I'll take it off when I sit down.
I'm absolutely okay. It's like, dude, I'll do the mask, but what the fuck is this mandatory vaccine shit?
I mean, I think that is inviting
That's horrifying. Put on a fucking mask. Fuck you. Like, putting on the mask is horrible. I can talk all day about how that's enough of like, this is fucked up.
It's hard, man.
But the vaccine is fucking nuts. I mean, the fact that we're going to put some fucking shit. See, I'm not an anti-vaxxer either. Yeah. That's another thing that people have to get straight here is like,
are you vaccinated with other things?
Yes, dude, exactly. Because the other things have a lot more research and fucking shit behind them. And they're literally more scientifically proven. This new COVID vaccine is literally, people, please do the fucking research on this. It's literally less research and it's less it
was rushed out for sure.
We don't know as much as we did with the other ones. This is a different one, people. That's the thing. It's like,
I mean, that's all true. You know what I mean? And I think, but here's the thing. In America,
let me ask you a question here, fucking about playground shit. Have you seen a difference in kids? Because 1 to 4 is the most important time in their lives, they say, developmentally, right?
Yeah.
And I feel that's what I feel bad for are the kids that 1 to 4 are going through this COVID shit and they have barely seen a human fucking face.
No, I mean, it's really sad. I mean, it's fucked up.
Do they is your kid in school? Do they have to wear a mask in school?
No. So my son, he's pretty young still. He's actually going to be 2 and he's never worn a mask before. But I will say,
okay, so good. You're not one of those crazy parents that force their kids to wear masks.
No, I mean, man, here's the thing. This is my like main take on like the vaccines, on all of it. In America, you generally should be able to come up with your own idea.
Do what the fuck you want to do.
Meaning, like, if you want to, like,
America.
Like, if you're going to triple mask your kid, or if you're going to chop their legs off and say they don't have any legs and they were born this way, like, okay, maybe that's criminal. But my point is,
right.
Like, if there's a vaccine,
maybe the state should come in on that.
Point. I'm going to reel that back in. But like, if there's a vaccine for a disease that is like proliferating, it should be like an elective to get it, right? And then you can kind of see how it plays out. So like if it's proven, and this is in data as well, even though like I agree it's a new vaccine, right? But the point is it's saving people's lives. It's not giving people as crazy as a bout of COVID. But that said, like, am I going to get a booster shot?
Yeah, but
Absolutely
we were just talking
not.
about the data, how the data is fucking, it's hard to really look at the data here. We're dealing with massive amounts of fucking data.
Totally.
It's a complex thing.
You know what it is? I'm going by people that I know, actually. So in my little life, because this is, again, how I like to make my ideas, people that I know. So like anyone, like, let's say that I am friends with who knows people first person, even if I don't know those people, if my friend says, holy shit, like 3 people I know died this month. And I'm like, really? From what? And they're like, COVID. And I'm like, were they vaccinated? And she's like, no. I'm like, how old were they? They were in their late 70s. They were pretty obese. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
like,
right.
This is data. Do you know what I mean? Like, that to me is like, okay, like.
That's important data.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so if you're not in like Top Shop Health and you're an elderly person, the chances are if you get the vaccine, that will actually save your life. But like, that's for that person to make that decision. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's how I feel about it. So it's like, yes, is the vaccine helping people? For sure. Like, I believe it is. And I have it. You know
what? I might even go as far to say, okay, maybe it is helping people. And let's say it's not even the vaccine. Here's an important point here. Let's say it's not even the vaccine. But if the government, here's where Foucault and shit comes in, where this guy named Jeff Schellenberger, I think is his name, does a lot of good work on this. Shout out to him. I think he has a podcast called Outsider Theory. But anyway, here's the important word. Foucault, reading Foucault is fucking comes in is important, especially like Althusser and shit, Louis Althusser, with fucking like the structures of fucking the ideological state apparatus, and the fucking ideological fucking repressive apparatus, which is fucking how they physically enforce the ideological shit. And here's the thing here. Here's the important thing. It's really an ideological thing. Let's say the vaccines are fine, but if you can get people to put this fucking unknown chemical into them from the state, and we can then the elites and everybody knows that, oh wow, okay, it was that easy that we could just put chemicals in these fucking people, they go along with it. That's how controllable the population is. Then once they know that, okay, then they're going to start doing a whole bunch of crazy shit. So let's say the vaccine right now, this vaccine shit is okay. But once I feel like it's kind of sketchy for us to just all go along with it and not question it and not be allowed to question it.
I mean, I think they've been doing this a lot longer though with like, I mean, I look at like any fast food chain and I'm like, what the fuck is in this diet Dr. Pepper? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
I think there's more questionable.
Shit.
Yeah, there's more questionable, like, carcinogenic fucking garbage and poison.
No, man. No. That's another
It's
thing.
out there.
Like McDonald's, think about that documentary, that bullshit documentary, Super Size Me. McDonald's is actually not that bad for you. That's an actually weirdo conspiracy. Is like everybody thinks McDonald's is this whole crazy thing. No, there's way crazier shit. This vaccine is actually something scary.
I mean, I'm saying
McDonald's is not that scary, I think.
I mean, okay, I feel you, but it's less
Because
McDonald's. But if you go to like,
we've had it for how long? You know, we at least know that.
Sure.
You know,
I mean,
this vaccine is fucking new.
Yeah, but I guess my point is more that to not know what you're putting in your body is not like a new thing for us.
Okay. No. Okay, here's all push back on that. Here's all push back on that.
Okay.
Maybe the very, very, very low, working class person really kind of doesn't really know what the fuck is going in their body. But there are people that are kind of, maybe even upper middle class and have been to college, and they can put two and two together and know, okay, I can talk to my doctor and kind of, I have
no, that's true. Of course.
I like took in a biology class in college or whatever. Like I can kind of tell what the fuck is going on here. Yeah. And that's what, dude, this new COVID vaccine shit gets a lot of people thinking. And let's even talk about this. Have you seen the fucking Rand Paul shit where I think he was in like fucking, I don't know, Congress or some shit, and he was going off on fucking Fauci. He was like in the Supreme Court or some shit, and about how Fauci there's something about how no, it is a possibility that this could have been a man-made disease that was funded by the American government that came out of a fucking Chinese lab.
So that whole thing, I actually am totally down. Like, I don't think that's even a conspiracy theory.
That's a schizo pill shit,
but
right there.
But dude, but the crazy thing about that is the most like, that's not even Alec Jones vibes to me. Like,
I know.
That's just literally what happened.
Public knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, the fact, I mean, I'm going to butcher it, but just the idea that like that lab was being funded by us.
Yes,
fact.
It was.
Like openly, right? And the person
openly, it's public information, people. And the guy, it's public information.
Exactly. And the guy who was in charge with investigating it ran it, or was like in charge of the funding for it. It's like, you can't, come on. Like, I mean,
I know. It's so
that's why I get so whatever pilled I am, like clear pilled, because I'm just like, yeah, like all of this shit is in the open, and you can record a 4-hour podcast about it, and you can have millions of views. And there are still people who
say you are a right-wing fascist conspiracy theorist if you talk about this shit.
Here's the irony: Trump actually fucked up by making it his whole by Trumpifying the Chinese virus.
By Trumpifying it. Oh, that's a good point.
He made it so anyone will no, everyone's afraid to talk about it because then they're just like a racist. Point. But like, that should have been like a war crime, like investigation. Like, you literally hijacked and fucking broke the world economy, like have like affected and killed people. Like, this is very real. And like the fact that they were like, I forget what type of disease, there was a type of virus thing that is a special type of like a biology. I don't know what the fuck the term is, but anyway, I've read about this extensively, and it's like you don't even need to read extensively to see. It's like the first paragraph says Bob knows Jim knows Bob, Susan and Jim are married, they work at Bob's house, period. And you're just like, dude, really? Like, but then, again, because, and this is where I personally like, I'm like, Trump really fucked us on this one, because his game of like doing what he thought was, actually not the wrong thing in a fucked up way, but his brand gets in his way, because he was like, he branded himself to speak to a certain audience, which I respect, and like, great, like, do you, bro. But the point is, he made it now impossible for us to even investigate them. You know what I mean? Like, no one's going to fucking say, oh, China, because they're just going to hear China virus. But like, that shit totally came out of a fucking, like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I read things, I think they're real. I don't know if they're real or not, but my gut and my senses tell me that more that like, how can a man who was in charge of the funding for that lab investigate that lab? And then when he's asked on like 60 Minutes or something, what was it? He was asked point blank by a reporter, like, well, how did you investigate? And he's like, well, we asked them, what more could we do? Like, wow. Like, for real, like, it's a quote.
I just looked it up. What was this thing about Rand Paul? It's fucking Dr. Fauci and Senator Rand Paul clashed during a congressional hearing, and it's about the gain of function research.
Yeah, gain of function. That's
gain of function research that the fucking National Institutes of Health gain of function research at a Wuhan lab during Senate hearing of the COVID-19 pandemic.
And they said they weren't doing that. They basically were like, we're not doing that.
Oh, dude, the video is so fucking scary because you see this man sitting there shivering, like Dr. Fauci, like being like lying, dude. You can go to fucking prison for lying in a Congress fucking thing right there. You know, I think Rand Paul even says that. I'm not a fucking Rand Paul fan or anything.
I'm not
that's what's crazy about this shit.
I'm not an anyone fan.
I'm not an anyone fan. I'm for the fucking
I hate
truth.
Trump. I hate Biden.
I hate Trump. I hate Biden. Fuck them all. Exactly.
But here's the thing. The big misstep that and I think there's a lot of literature about this from all time, but as soon as you turn your politicians like into rock stars, like an AOC type, you're lost. Like you're fucked. Like
that's kind of what I did with Trump, but I just think it's so funny because it pisses people off so much.
Well, yeah,
because I like to talk about like, yeah, Trump's badass. He's a rock star. Like fuck yeah.
But I'm the kind of guy like
dude, but is he not literally like the greatest artist of all time, the most punk rock star? Like every punk artist and like especially in New York and this whole liberal bullshit, they all think they're punk. Fuck you. You're not. No, I mean
he's definitely a Gigi Allen for a new generation.
He's the fucking Gigi Allen of presidents.
But also, like Gigi Allen was like an asshole, probably piece of shit. But that's my point. But that's what I'm saying. Like someone can be an asshole piece of shit, and I can still like, I don't know, like I can hold two thoughts in my head at the same time.
Hold two thoughts exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's fine.
Walk and talk.
Yeah, man. Like I can see like the whole thing's. It's just a big garbage pile, and I think that's probably why I don't talk about it that much because I feel like. And it's hard not to sound like some, I don't know, whatever whatever pill it would be that I'd be just like, man, I just want to like talk about beauty, bro.
Yeah, right.
But honestly, I kind of do.
You know what? I mean? Dude, let's start that beauty pill.
I'm all about it. I think it's clear.
You need to take my friend, the perfume nationalist, course at Renegade University. He has a course on.
Is he teaching?
Yes,
that's so cool.
His friend Thaddeus Russell. Yeah. Has this Renegade University shit, and he is doing a course on beauty and like modern.
Interesting.
It like gets into architecture and a whole bunch of cultural shit about beauty.
I just think that is a really.
And I was like, man, and I like that too, and I really do think fucking I am beauty pilled as well.
Yeah, I think it's really great. I think it's a good way to go. I think it's a good direction to move in. Like, I think we've doubled down on like just how fucking like metastasized and dead this other thing is. I'm just like, put that in hospice. I'm gonna go this way, and like I'm gonna fuck with beauty and like what I'm curious about, and like meet new people, and like stay up all night doing drugs, or stay up all night just talking and not doing.
What kind of drugs do you do? Or if you want,
I do whatever's around. I'm not.
Same. I'll
really,
do everything.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'll do fucking everything. I'll do about basically anything you fucking give me if it's good. It's not gonna like hurt me or any fucking thing.
No,
I mean good shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm older now. I've gone through the periods of like not knowing how to do a drug, and then it does you kind of thing. But do you learn? That's how you get your ass kicked by something, and they're like, oh, GHB and cocaine and ecstasy is a bad combination. Got it.
GHB. I've never even done shit like that.
Dude, I had a weird time.
Oh, dude, I do fucking MDMA and fucking coke, dude, all the time though.
Yeah,
I love it. I love Molly, bro. Fuck MDMA.
A cap of GHB is pretty weird. I had 2 or 3, I think.
Dude, I've never tried mescaline. I really want to try mescaline. Yeah. I really want to try 2CB.
I've never done that.
This one girl that was in France or some shit who I'm friends with on Instagram, she is like a fan of the pod, and she was like sending me fucking nudes and shit, and her like snorting 2CB and fucking ketamine. And she was like, yo, you're fucking nuts.
It's funny how ketamine has become such a thing. Like not even like a niche thing.
It's been a meme, and it's been popularized recently.
But I mean, like you see like there's billboards.
I'd say 4 years.
Yeah, but it's wild because I see like I get Instagram ads for like, are you depressed? Try ketamine, for your depression.
The ketamine infusions, they have ketamine infusion things you can do in New York. You can pay $400 and have them shoot you up full of ketamine.
Dude, I used to go to dinner, put a bunch of K on a plate, put the plate in like a closet, then scrape the plate after dinner, and like just be in a K-hole for hours having
dude,
an amazing. I love
this girl.
K-holes.
This girl she used to be friends with. She used to have this little fucking Brooklyn apartment that had no windows. Or she had this little room that she rented that had no windows, and it was like literally the size of a closet. Yeah. And we'd sit in her little fucking room and get so fucking high on K. I swear to God, I'd be in there for like 2 or 3 days. and have her just go get me food and shit, and or Uber fucking food, fucking food to the crib, and I couldn't tell. I dissociated, and I couldn't tell when was daytime or nighttime because the windows and shit, and it was just time wasn't real.
I love that.
And I've also had like crazy intellectual experience on ketamine, and especially nitrous oxide.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I think ketamine does a thing that I don't think we really understand. Like it does something very
It's a trippy
unique.
one, isn't it?
I've always used it as
and did you know that there's two different strains?
Well, I used to do there's like K-ketamine, Ketaset, and like something else.
I just thought there was two different kinds. See, I didn't even know that long ago. Someone told me that. I was hanging out with this one guy fucking New York, and he gave me some ketamine, and he was like, "Did you know there's two different kinds?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, most people aren't really doing ketamine. They're doing like some derivative of it, which still works, but it's not. It's actually not ketamine. It's like I think Ketaset or K-ketamine are like versions of it, but it's like a different. It's like a different
because I've
genetic
tried
makeup.
different bags of that shit, and I've had totally different experiences.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. But what's ironic, and I'm not bringing us back there, but like I just want to juxtapose this conversation with the vaccine.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just like a bag of like white powder. We have
you don't know what the fuck it is.
We have no fucking idea.
No fucking clue.
But I'm cool with that. So I think if the vaccine made us trip, it would be more popular.
Oh fuck yeah! Okay, see, maybe if it got you high, fuck it, let's go.
That's why I think like the Democrats are just bad taste. They're just not branding this right.
They're not branding it right, bro.
No, man.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make everyone do this thing by forcing them to do it. Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck.
Anyway,
in America, where like that's the one good thing we have in this fucking shithole place.
But that's just like almost like if the government is a parent and the population are its children, like. I have a kid, and I'm pretty sure if I try to force Dash to do things, he's not going to do it. But if I talk to him or level with him or like get in his head a little bit, and I'll make him curious about something, and we'll have a conversation, and he's like doesn't even talk, then he's going to do it. If I'm like just shoving it down his throat, he's going to scream at me and try to punch me. So like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Anyway, we're not going back.
That's
there,
so
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
But fucking, it's also such a weird thing about power too, because it's like. Yeah. It's so many times in history, it's like really, really like upsettingly like shown that if you don't fucking force people, they will just they'll just have anarchy. The only thing keeping the world, that's the thing with reading Hobbes. I believe his name's Thomas Hobbes. Like Hobbesian fucking theories and shit about how power and state control and shit. I'm pretty sure he was writing in the 1600s. Fucking dude, that's just been the thing for the last thousands of years, man. Fucking just if power and keeping things in control.
Yeah, I mean this social contract, right? Isn't that what he's like? It's like social contract.
Yeah, the social contract shit. I believe that's exactly what it is. The social contract. That's what keeps everything in line. It keeps everything together.
And on that point, that's what that's what we're watching. I think evaporate or just morph into something else. But I think we're having this we're in this like really uncomfortable growing phase and breaking phase of like an old social contract, which is like completely just like kind of null and void and like almost laughable. Some people are like doubling and tripling down on it, and then they look insane, while other people are like just like moving into this unknown world that we're genuinely in. Like that's the real world, is like no one knows a fucking thing, but like ultimately if you can like clean your information source and like educate yourself or just like, focus on beauty, you'll survive the fall. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think about it that much anymore, honestly. I just think it's a given. It's like the streets made of concrete, the government's burning. I'm going to go to the store and like, I'm going to do this thing today. And like, that's like the level I live at, and not in like a complacent way, but just in a, like, I'm going to work on like a one-to-one, my life, people that I like respect or love, and like, just try to get into stuff that's interesting. Cause like, I don't know. Otherwise I'm just like never happy. Cause this shit's fucking awful. It's sad. It's like terrible. Also, like, especially having a kid, it's like, fuck, what world is he coming into?
Oh, dude, that's such a fucking trip. But like, I'm trying to think of a time where like people weren't feeling that when they were having kids.
Exactly.
Like in the 80s.
I think it was always like
dude,
that.
Fucking AIDS is happening. Like I'm having a kid during this crazy fucking epidemic that has never fucking happened. It's scaring the fucking living shit out of people. The fucking AIDS epidemic in the 80s. Think about when people were having kids in the 80s. That must have been a horrifying experience.
Yeah. I mean, but to your point, I think there's never been a time in history that people weren't like, we're all going to die.
We're all going to die. Exactly, dude. Well, that's the schizo pill. That's the fucking goddamn Ted K, the collapse pill, the end of civilization pill.
I'm on that beauty pill is like, yeah, that's true. All that shit is fucked, but check this out. You know what I mean? It's like there's this other thing. And the truth is, and I forget who even said this. Someone said this to me, and then maybe I like stole it and tweeted it. I don't even remember anymore. But the idea that like it's going to take a really long time for society to collapse, actually. Like it probably won't happen. It's already been collapsing, but like the point is,
dude, societies take thousands of years to collapse.
That's my point. So like, what the fuck are we yelling about? You know what I mean? Like it's inevitable that America will fall. Like that's a given. Or by the time it does, it takes such a long time that it's just these colonies. We're going to be dead and gone. We'll be so dead and gone that they'll just like, it'll morph 20 times over before that actually. Like,
I think that's so fucking funny. That's the game, you know man. I mean? That's the trip. Is everyone's just guessing like, when's it going to fucking fall? Is it going to fall on my time? It kind of looks like it might.
I mean, I think bad shit will continue to happen, sadly, which sucks. Which again is like the only real life sort of like finger on the trigger in all senses for me is like, at what point do I go, all right, pack the cars? You know what I mean?
Like let's get the fuck out. Yeah, because there's different levels of falling. There's fucking that. This one of my favorite movies, Trainspotting, is like this quote, there's last hits and then there's last hits. There's real last hits.
No,
and that's
for sure.
The difference is like,
that's true.
There's fucking like, okay, you know, when Greece was fucking, there's like different points when like, you know, Plato and shit, and they were all talking about, you know, they talked about, you know, if you read a lot of their shit, they're like, oh, society's going to fall. Everything's so bad. People are fucking retarded. Yeah. We're living in a goddamn talking about how bad things are. You know, they're critics. They're fucking social critics. But, yeah, they were dead and gone for like hundreds of years until Greece actually fell, I believe.
Yeah.
And, you know, so like they thought it was going to probably fall in their time and it didn't, you know, but so like, even then things were probably still bad. Gnarly shit happened. Like, an earthquake can happen and just throw things out of fucking.
Yeah. Like bad shit's going to happen. Like I expect to crash my motorcycle every day.
Oh, that's what I love about riding motorcycles.
Exactly.
Driving fucking
and it focuses you, but
the fucking adrenaline of fucking. But also, one of my favorite philosophers died in a car crash.
Oh, really?
And he has a great quote about one of my favorite quotes about life.
Yeah.
It's the meaning. One of the most important philosophical questions is the meaning of life, and the meaning of life is literally what keeps you from killing yourself.
Yeah, that's so fucking true.
And I was like, man, I want to.
It's life. I mean, the meaning of life is just fucking.
Whoa, dude. That's
it's
deep.
It's just. I like that we're on this. Like, this is the meaning of life part of the podcast. Please turn to page 43 in your notebooks. So the meaning of life, it just means living. Live your fucking life. Don't worry about this shit falling. It ain't gonna fall in our lifetime. Bad shit will happen.
Fuck it. Like, let's fucking like find the beauty in it.
Well, there you go. Right. And to that point, though, it's like, what do you do in the face of that? You like live and you're going to like enjoy your time here, period, full stop. And that it is kind of that simple to me now, you know? I still consume all of the stuff that like we're talking about because there's a difference between like making that decision of like, I'm going to live. And the other is like to be like just dumb and not aware of what is happening in the world. You know, I think you can know about this stuff, but not be like consumed by it. You know, if that's possible. I think that's the biggest thing is like to digest all of it, but remain like ideologically free. On all sides. Like I don't give a fuck what anyone is. Like, I just don't care what people think.
Same. Anymore. That's what I think. That's what I said. It's like in real life, I fucking hang out with fucking anybody. But
just don't care.
That quote I was saying is fucking from Albert Camus for people listening.
He's a goodie.
Yeah, he died in a fucking car accident, man. He was pretty young.
No shit. How do I not? I feel like I did know that. He's one of the greats. One of the
greats, man. Existentialism and shit. And I used to read all about his arguments with him and Sartre.
Yeah.
And their letters they'd send to each other and just.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like me and my friend fucking arguing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. People should
shows like these things are repeated throughout history, man.
Of course.
It's like, dude, just how they're sitting there talking about shit, shooting shit in a bar back in the day in the 60s in France. It's just like us shooting shit right now, fucking today.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. So you're basically saying that we are Albert and You know,
yeah, but which one's who's who?
I mean, both are a compliment. I'm down with either.
I'm down with either too. I like them both.
Yeah.
I fucking relate to both of them very much too.
Well, I think they were just like endlessly curious and possessed and entranced.
They were some of the first people I got into existentialism and shit because I was an edgy teenager when I first got it.
I mean, that shit's good. It's
great
it's
to
important.
fucking have like to read, and I love that was one of the first times I got into it.
Reading, I think, is making it's like, it's funny how, you know, again, everything's in cycles. I think you can call it like the weather now, but it's like I think kids probably my son's age, like he's just not interested in our phones, and we're on them all the time. So ideally the logic would be we're obsessed with this thing. I'm always holding it. I'm always using it. He should be too, but he has like no interest in it.
Dude, just like I see people's kids and they fucking literally don't want any toys or nothing. They want the fucking phone because they know that that's what everybody else is on.
See, that's what I would think. Yeah, my kid's weird.
But then some kids are just like, you know, they don't fucking care for the phone. Fucking
yeah. He's also reading.
They're on the
time.
Xbox.
My kid's always reading, which is wild, and I did not push this on him.
Oh, that is fucking so good. Dude, my parents never fucking made me read, man.
See, we just put them out. The whole plan was like put things out that are like possibly inspiring.
No, I think
then
you
let
need to
him
make
the
your
call.
Kid read.
Yeah, but like I think he has
he
has 3 bookshelves. I mean, like all over the house. But the point is like
that's great.
He goes to them and like picks out the books he wants to read and brings them to us.
Wow.
You know, and I love that. But
dude, one thing is that my grandma fucking she would fucking read to me, man. Thank fucking God.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom saved all of my books.
My mom and dad were so young and fucking just like
really?
You know, kind of not there and fucking like they didn't you know, fucking yeah, man. Thank God for my grandma. She used to like read fucking like I used to know a whole bunch of like facts about like ancient Egypt when I was like 8 years old. My grandma would like read these like it was like one of the only books we had. But dude, I think that's really fucking important, man. And yeah is that making a comeback? Reading?
I think so. I mean, I think it's again.
I also
see
something with like writers. A lot of these little cool New York kids are writers.
Yeah, I was talking to one last night. We recorded a pod. Alicia Wexler. She's amazing. She's a badass writer. She's like
that's tight. I want to get. Is she from New York? I don't think I know who that is.
She's in the New York scene, but I don't. She's from Las Vegas, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are. Again, like it's all cycles.
There's that what's that one? I think you had this one girl on. Her name's like Victim on Instagram or Honor.
Honor Levy.
Yeah, I believe that's her name.
Yeah, she did.
Is she a writer?
Yeah, she is actually. She's a really good writer too. I like her writing a lot.
Fucking I see when I think about like and I think I was just kind of aware of you know, I think we just followed each other recently. But yeah, when I think about like younger, you know, fucking I think fucking writing and writing fucking, you know, in the early 2000s and shit, or maybe like early 2010s, that was kind of like really not cool. It was about like video games.
Well, everything was getting so hyper digital and like we were inventing social media at that time. And it's like, now that we've done that, most kids who are like born online,
we're reverting back to books and shit and reading.
Yeah, because I think
and writing.
Like I'm like a geriatric millennial or whatever they call us. So it's like I remember before and I remember when it was introduced, and I remember now, and I can see the pattern of like having a conversation with someone who's like 19 years old. Like I have friends who are that old, and they're telling me their experience, and like they grew up online. So it's like to them, there isn't any online. It's all kind of the same thing, like on or off.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
You know what I mean? It's scary, but it's also kind of actually probably healthier in a way where I think it's just less emphasis on it. Like I'm online or I'm offline, like as long as you're doing both. And I think it's logical to like the youngest kids I meet, like they're like, yeah, it's like more fun offline, obviously. You know what I mean? Like there's a dumb logic of like, yeah, dude, like I'm not going to sit on my computer all the day. I'm going to go do shit. But like it's good to use for, you know, now we just sound like, you know, when I was your age, we had the dial-up internet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Oh, that modem sound.
That old sweet sound of the modem. America
How old
Online.
do you think I am?
I have no idea. You could be 22 or you could be 29 or 30.
Oh my god, dude! I know. Isn't that a trip? Like everybody
I like
thinks I'm
that.
like 30 years
I don't know.
old.
But I think you're probably like 20.
If you watch young Alex Jones, he never talked about how old he was.
I mean, this is the whole like anonymity.
Because they won't
thing.
take you seriously, man. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. But again, I think this is the allure of like anonymous and like anon and like
See,
not
that's
being
also
yourself.
my friends. I'm always like, man, maybe I should fucking like fuck it. I'm not even gonna tell people my fucking age of my podcast because I don't want. I want them to just take what I'm saying as what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's like so many people I know now are between 18 and whatever. But I think like, like someone like Honor, like she's very young. I mean, I think she's like probably 21, maybe 22, maybe. But like she's like, the thing is she's consumed in the rate that she's consumed them has given her own like archetype. Like she's not a typical any year old. She's just herself. But again, like the access we have to information now, I think you can turn yourself into a Oxford professor at 20.
Oh yeah,
if you want
just
to,
in your bedroom, just in your fucking bedroom.
Yeah, on YouTube, like literally, like if you just like go in,
that's what
they
call the death of expertise.
Yeah,
that everybody thinks they're a fucking goddamn professor now. But I also hate that because it's kind of true. You really can look up and find your own shit.
But I'm saying if you actually like, most people say they are that thing, but they aren't. But I think like there are people who literally are like, you know what? I can't afford to go to like an Ivy League school, but I'm like insanely.
You have to be a cold motherfucker
curious.
to self-teach, man.
Yeah, no, that's
coming from someone who's completely, almost completely, basically completely self-taught.
Yeah, man. That's like, I mean, I went to college for 2 years for like the visual arts. I like did everything on my own after. I didn't learn anything at school. You know what I mean? But again, I think this, like from the youngest generation to mine, the cutoff really is there where it's like, I've also had the access to the internet since I was like 11. So like I eat in all different iterations of it, but like just the feeling that I had access to things that were further than my own world. I think that concept was like actually super fucking new to people. And now it's like on, not even on overdrive. It's on like warp acid, like dead space. It's going, going so fast that like while we've had this conversation, it's evolved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. It was like right now.
No, literally. While we've been like the AI is like 15%
it's picking
smarter.
up what we're saying right now, and it's putting into the supercomputer, and it's learning how to appropriate.
It probably is. I mean, I think,
dude, I don't doubt it. Think about the gnarly Google fucking data shit. I was just setting up my new iPhone today. It's got a new iPhone. I'm not even. Someone's gonna hack my shit or something. No, but I was just doing something. But fucking, it's crazy all this because it asks you like when you sign into a new app, like, hold up, like, will you allow us to fucking take your data so that we can give you a better experience? You can click yes or no. Yeah, but no matter what, that they're fucking taking your shit.
If someone on the street says to me, "Hey, can I follow you home for a better experience?" I'm gonna be like, "Fuck no." You know what I mean? Like, the fuck's wrong with people? But like, yeah, they ask, but it's like a vampire. Like, can I come in? I'm like, no, vampire, you can't come to my house. Okay, bye.
Right. It's like
sure, come on in.
Even ask?
Yeah, totally.
Just take the fucking information. We know you're gonna fucking take the shit anyway.
Well, that's also how that's my other take is that like I have absolutely nothing to hide online anymore, other than from like humans that I work with, because like I do like have like a work existence where, full like all grifting aside, like I have like a career, even though it's just me working for myself. But like, what was I had a point, I lost it, but
I totally get what you're saying though,
but yeah, I'm not anonymous, and I don't hide.
Isn't that scary, man?
It isn't it. Here's the thing. Maybe I'm totally naive, and like in 2 months, someone's gonna like
put
everything that I've ever said together.
If it doesn't happen, then you're not doing it right. You're not doing enough.
No, I mean
honestly,
the listenership on my pod is going up. I'm watching it go up like really fast, which has been interesting. I mean, here's the thing. It's not hard. It's a video game. If you put people on your podcast, you have, but it's like if you put people on your pod that have an audience, you're going to gain an audience.
Yeah, because what you do is you get them to repost. Like I always tell the fuck out of people. I'm like, every time I have them on, I'm like, yo, please post this. Please post this. Fucking post it 5 different times on your Twitter or on your Instagram.
Most people don't, I don't know. I'm very transparent about that. But at the same time, like, like anything, like building an account or like building a following or like making stuff. Do we ever talk through my Selectual project? I don't even know if, are you aware? I have like a proper anonymous account.
I think I realized that you have the same profile picture.
Yeah, I did that to kind of, to anyone who's going to be paying attention, they can do that.
If you're kind of retarded, if you can't tell.
Well, that's my point.
Same exact profile picture.
But the irony is that so many people are retarded and don't. And like they don't like,
because I heard you talk about this on podcasts before, and I'm like, does anybody not know that?
I've literally talked about it.
This is my anonymous account, and I'm like,
that's the joke.
Does anybody not realize that you got? I mean, it's the same exact profile picture.
I know. It's pretty funny.
Is it the same exact profile picture?
It's the exact. I love it. Like Alicia, who I was talking to last night when we were hanging out in person, I had my phone out as we all do, and like the screen to like toggle accounts. I opened it for like 1 second and I was like, oh, hey, do you want to see what mental illness looks like?
Oh God.
And I showed her the screen. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellow circles. So it's fucked up. But that said, it's just a website now. I kind of see it all like what a website used to be,
Oh,
you have
yeah,
like
man.
a homepage with links and
it's
shit.
like a little thing. It's like MySpace. It's like that's what MySpace was. It was like your little website.
Yeah, I treat different Instagram accounts like different sections of my website. That's it.
Yeah.
It's fine, but
I kind of like the whole like ever expanding universe all packed in one thing. DCU universe. Like it's just one Instagram account.
No, that's cool. Totally.
A bunch of shit just about movies and culture and fucking I really got a lot of that inspiration for like having like movies and literature and shit be part of like the universe and shit, and like building a thematic universe. Really, like that's really my favorite part about the artistry of podcast. Is building a thematic universe through audio.
Totally.
And it's like like there's like always like a list of characters and the drama and the movies, and it's so funny because like you also see like movies reflected in like the fucking patterns and shit in real life and shit. But I don't know, fucking but yeah, well, I was saying, I got really inspired from the Perfume Nationalist podcast. That
I like that guy. Sorry, but go on.
What'd you say?
No, finish your thought. I was
that's what I was all saying. Just fucking like he really inspired me to really like think about my podcast in that way, thematically and shit.
Yeah, I will say, like, when that pod came, I remember when it kind of came out, I think he early off had Anna Hachian on, and that's how I first discovered him, I think. Or maybe it was I don't remember who it was, but what really struck me, because I'm a very visual person, I like making my little movies, and I think it's, what's his like second mic? Is it like Orton Ape or Organ?
Orton, I believe it's his brother named Orton.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's making a lot of the video stuff that was like on the Patreon, and I was just like, aesthetically, this is fucking so good. And then also just the concept of like the perfume.
I love it, dude.
The film pairing and then the human pairing. That was just like, it hits like the part of your brain that's like, yes, because that's just a framework for like hanging out, but it creates this really beautiful aesthetic. And I treat pods like that in a less direct way, but like anytime someone comes on for me, it's like a chance to curate music or edit music or do weird things.
I've been trying to add more
them.
Music in my shit.
It's just another layer. It's like it's a cinematic layer
to whole like vibe to it.
Yeah, I really enjoy that part of it. And Jack, tons of respect to that motherfucker, to them doing it. I think it's great.
They're great.
I really liked Kyle's episode on there too when he went on. I don't know if you listened.
I don't think I listened to the whole thing. But I think that's like one of the only reasons why I think I even know who he is.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's kind of what pods are for.
Isn't that so funny? This whole little weirdo little world of like,
I mean, it
drama and fucking people and fucking like it's such a thing.
It's funny. I mean,
it's great. I love it. I'm like fucking addicted to it. I kind of got really freaked out because it happened so fast to me, and like I've never gotten that much attention in my life about anything positive or negative. Yeah. And that was just like the first time I felt like my work was actually being appreciated and all this different shit. But
yeah, man.
I'm also addicted to it.
That's all right.
It's.
I think there's worse addictions. I guess there's weed and podcasts, but yeah, it's all good.
All good in the hood, baby.
Yeah, man. Fucking A. We've been on a tear. This is, I don't even know where it says how long we've been talking. I don't have that. For some reason on my Zoom, it never shows it.
Well, I know that we started.
Yeah, what time did we start?
It's 12:49 for me. We started at 11.
Oh, sick.
I believe.
Nice. How are you feeling? Do you want to like ask me questions? Do we want to get weird? Like, you
dude, I want to get fucking, we can get as weird as you fucking want, dude. I want to, I have all night to just sit back and fucking, we can do this as long as you want to. It's totally up to you.
I probably have a little longer.
I cleared everything tonight.
Sweet.
To do this with you.
Sweet. All right. Badass. Yeah, man. Let's, yeah, whatever.
It's up to you. You know, I'll have people on.
Yeah.
And, also, it's such a little funny like clout thing too, because like we both came at each other really cool, and I love that, man. I love that. Be like so much times when you're approached them first, they act like you're a fan or something, or like they have to act like a power thing or something. Like when we first started fucking like DMing each other and shit, and we just found each other's shit, and we realized that we had mutual friends. It was just like we were already friends. It's like when you meet a guy at a bar and you're just like, man, I love this fucking guy. This guy's dope. Like,
I mean, that's how it feels, and it's like, connect. But it's like let's hang out. Like it's not a.
But what I'm saying is like I have these people on, and they're like, oh, I'm only giving you like an hour of my time. You're like a fan who's asking me to come on your podcast. Wow. I'm not going to say who directly, and it's not everyone, but a lot of people treat me like that sometimes. And I'm like, like, I don't know. Weirdo shit.
That's bullshit.
But then again, so many people are fucking really cool and like want to come on, and it's great. And it's fucking, want to invite me on their shit, and it's great.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just hanging out. That's it. So it's like for me, like,
what it is, man? It's weird to just say a random guy on the internet, hey, bro, let's call each other.
Yeah.
Isn't that exactly what it is? We have to just record it to make it not be weird.
Well, I think, here's the thing.
Isn't that fucking weird?
But
it's an ideological thing.
If Instagram, etc., didn't give us like data points of like, you have the following people in common. And then like, as soon as you see their profile pictures, you have a sense of the kind of person you're talking to. Because like, again, like, each of those people is their own little ecosystem and like personality, which then has others inside of it. So it's all these like Russian nesting dolls that you're fluent in. So like you can glance in 3 seconds who follows someone and instantly have a kind of like a sketch of them. Do you know what I mean?
Instantly.
Like you're exactly who I thought you would be. You know what I mean?
You never in time can just figure out who someone is so quickly.
Yeah, it's wild. But also to like feel who they are so quickly.
They are. Well, I mean, know so much about them.
Totally.
Some people just put all their things up there.
Well, that's what I think makes
who what their politics is, who their friends are.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what makes this easy then to hang out. Because it's not like, hi, nice to meet you. So what are you into? Like we already kind of know that.
Think about this. So let's say you meet, I have a lot of friends on Instagram that I just have not, we just text, and I hate texting. It's just the most impersonal bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't text. I tell people to call me. If I'm texting you,
I take that.
You're important. I really fucking like you. I hate texting. But anyway, I think people should call people more and hang out with each other in real life more. But anyway, I've met a lot of my friends on Instagram, guys or girls, and it's just fucking, I don't know if it's like a gender thing or what, but like, for some reason the girls, obviously, you can just be friends or, just meet a girl. You're more likely to like call them, I've seen. With the guys, I never, I feel weird asking them like, hey, bro, let's just like call. But I want to ask them that. I want to call them and get to know them.
It's fine. You should then. I mean, I think
but it's just this weirdo fucking thing that I feel like I have to say, hey, come on my podcast. Like, let's have a conversation, but we have to record it.
Yeah. I mean, it gives you permission.
It just can't be for no reason. No one's just like, dude, like I work. I'm not just going to call you.
Well, it's also like we were talking about the social contract before. And I think it's like the new social contract is sort of somehow like layered with this thing, where it's like you can now sort of encounter someone digitally as an avatar with like information-based personality points in it. And then like rapidly from there, it's like, oh, he's a pod. I'm doing a pod. We have the same friends in common. We should just hang out then. Because it's like meeting someone back in the day in a band and be like, yo, let's play a show together. Our bands should share a bill.
About the podcast is that it's like you do have that thing in common.
Yeah.
Totally. It's like totally like it makes it easier. Yes, if you both have a podcast, and it's
but that's the new social contract.
Come on each other's podcast. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it is kind of like okay, yeah, it is kind of awkward asking just strangers on the internet to like call them. You know what I mean? Like if you're not even, you can be free, it's just like, yeah, maybe sometimes you do need a reason to call people or whatever, but fuck it, who cares? I like the podcasting thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been trying to keep it pretty organic in the, like, I think like the way we encountered each other was, in my mind, it's organic because like we would have met at a bar with this people that we have in common, you know what I mean? So then like to hang is easy, but even like one step further, it's like most people that I think I've been recording things with, I generally am like already kind of strangely affiliated with, or like we're aware of each other. And it's sort of like a formality of just like, well, let's just record a pod together. But I haven't really like, I haven't hit up, I only actually sent like some random director who I like some random ass DM of like, yo, I have a project. Why don't you come on and like, let's talk. Like I've only just started being like, who do I want? Because now that I've had like more like substantial guests on lately, I found that people treat it differently, which helps. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to ask someone to come on, the first thing they're going to do is be like, well, who's been on your podcast?
Exactly. Right. They want to like, it looks like you want it to look like a cool kid list, basically.
Well, yeah, they're like branding themselves. By
all the cool people are on this podcast. Like when you go down the list of the episode, you see just cool names, recognizable names that are all cool, that are all in this little circle or whatever.
Yeah, it's a funny one. But I mean, this is also
I'm addicted to it. I love like the attaching we got a good guest. Fucking.
Yeah. Remember the MySpace top 8? Is that what it was called? Like where you would showcase your favorite friends on MySpace?
Yeah, right.
But that's
kind of literally like the podcast.
But it's just that idea is still kind of there of like, and it's interesting. Instagram doesn't really do that, even though you can kind of do it manually. But like to kind of showcase your faves, it's like that's just how it goes. And then by doing that, you place yourself within like a scene. It's funny. But like that's what we've always done. We've done it with like, I always think of music, but it's like, if you liked a band, who else likes that band or like is in that band even, and you go one step further, you start a band just to play with them. And then suddenly you're like playing shows together and you're like, wow, it's like that. This is how it works. It's cool.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. And most of the time you need some kind of fucking common thing to connect.
Yeah.
And the podcasting is such a fucking good medium for that, man. It's great. Because that's the one thing that we're fucking lacking in this neoliberal fucking hellhole is fucking connection and talking to people.
Yeah. And not needing to agree on everything, like that's so boring, but that
Dude,
goes without
what
saying.
I realized is that I've actually been having a really great and easy time being able to kind of like have little like heated, like little kind of moments or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a flirty thing because you're really trying to be cool with this person, but you're kind of like, no matter what happens all the time, you're not even maybe noticing it happens, but it's like, okay, this person probably doesn't believe what you're believing. This happened a little bit on my last podcast about vaccines because they were like talking about, oh yeah, well, I think the vaccines are totally cool or whatever, or some shit. I think that's what they're saying. I was like, dude, you guys fucking serious? We're just sitting here talking about how we like losing Atari and society's a control, and you're just okay with the fucking vaccine. Like you're nuts. Like how could you be a delusional Atari fucking? But anyway, that's what I was talking about last podcast. But it went by in such a cool way that we were all still be able to be friends. It didn't turn into a debate.
Of course. I mean, it's like, yeah, well, it doesn't.
I kind of just said that, and they guys like, oh yeah, fuck it, like yeah, I guess, like sorry, and I'm just like, okay, fuck it, whatever. I'm not even gonna debate you on it, whatever.
Yeah, and even if you do debate, it should be fine. It's good.
It should be fun, and it should be fine.
Yeah, I mean that's what like family dinner was like at most of, like when my dad was around, like that was generally how it went. It was like someone's gonna disagree about something, and then like we all get really like talk. It's like loud talking until it turns into yelling, and then mom's like, yo, whoa, like. Chill the fuck out, guys. You're screaming, and I'm like, okay, sorry.
Oh, dude, my fucking dad. Like, I come from like real southern black people. Yeah, like half my family, and the only really side of the family that I was really around most of the time, and they're just loud as fuck. Jesus Christ, loud, just arguing, just drunk as fuck, high as fuck. Sunday fucking dinner, fucking yelling.
That sounds great though.
And that's the thing also with Jews too. Jews are fucking loud, aren't they?
Oh no, that's what I was just saying. It's literally like it's that vibe of like, like my stepmom, they're like I don't know what their deal is, but basically it's always the Israel Palestine thing. So that's like every time that her brother and kids come over.
That's a psyop.
it just gets
thing.
Yeah, well, but beyond that, it's just like it's like my team, your team, like Sharks versus the Jets, whatever. But it's like they get so
if you're
heated.
pro-Israel though, like you're real ideological, prone to propaganda nutcase.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, even I can't.
Or I don't know. I don't really have I don't have people in my life that are like pro-Israel. I don't have family, so I don't really want to like just say that or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, I was definitely posting.
Everybody's a nutcase. Trump people are nutcases. Like some of them, some Democrats people are nutcases. Yeah. You know, but some of them are moderate. But
there's crazy people on both sides.
Dude, you know, have you seen the pro-Israel shit? A lot of pro-Israel shit. They were getting college kids, Palestinian kids,
I saw those
kicked out of
college,
man. Kicked out of colleges. Yeah. Oh, dude, you should watch this documentary called the goddamn, I forgot what it was called, but it was about how corrupt the Israel government is and how they're like doing crazy shit in American propaganda on Twitter and shit.
I totally agree. I mean, things like TikTok.
And you know what?
I was
targets. Fucking introduced to that documentary by a Jew.
Yeah.
By Brace Belden. Who is a fucking shitlib now?
Is he really? I lost touch with that. You know what?
He's okay. It's like the dirtbags bullshit. It's like, okay, you guys are saying shit that was like, okay, this is like, you're saying it now that it's okay to say it, you know? Like, okay, I don't know. It's like, they're just not fully on it, man. Yeah. That's what I can say.
I just think takes are over. I think like the whole like take.
Oh no, bro! It's still going. It's still the whole fucking.
I know it's
thing,
going,
man. Like,
but I
keep
think
up
like
with the takes. Are you a fucking liberal?
Yeah.
Are you in on what the whole? Are you in on the cool deal? Do you know what the fuck the deal is?
I guess when I say it's over, I mean when I talk to like my youngest friends who are like in my mind on some cutting edge of something that's coming that isn't even here yet, and they just could give a shit. So like in my mind, time moves forward. It is a flat circle at times. But at the same time, it's also like an arrow. So it's like those people are going to age out and become less of a voice. And I think, again, like it's all a cycle. But I think people are just going to get really tired of just like arguing on the internet. It's like, the fuck? I had to
you know what? I don't really argue.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I kind of just speak. I don't ever argue.
Fine.
Like,
and that's,
you know, a lot of time, like if I'm having people on like you, I already know that if you see my Instagram account, you must be pretty cool. And you fuck with it.
I see what you're posting, man. Yeah.
I'm not gonna have anyone on that I totally disagree with. I don't even think that'd be helpful. Like, or like a good. Like, I don't want to debate anyone. You know what I mean? I don't want to argue on the online. Like, I put shit up. Like, I don't respond to my comments ever.
Yeah. That's probably good. I mean, I think the thing with the Instagram is funny though, because it's like you do put forward a very specific thing, which is I expect like just how you feel and think. And it's like, I don't need to agree with that for us to hang out, like all of it. Like I'm kind of like take it or leave it on most of that stuff. You know what I mean? Or I find it to be funny in like a mimetic way or whatever.
You know, a lot of it is kind of a meme, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's interesting. It's a weird, interesting kind of culture.
Yeah. But isn't that also kind of dangerous? But I guess that's also the danger of like all this aestheticized religion and politics where it's like, and it's always been aestheticized.
Because we honestly do try to piss people off.
Yeah, well, that's why I think it's more of like a punk.
How people know about it is because people hear about like some negative shit.
Yeah, I mean that was
they always end up being like, man, this guy's fucking cool. Fuck these people, actually.
Yeah, generally it's just like having a thought in the open and then people taking it out of context and then like, you know, thinking they know what you're saying.
But I guess, take you out of context. Yeah.
Yeah. But I say that to also be like, I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah. You're going to totally get a lot of shit having me on too. Like you're a right winger or crazy shit.
Yeah. Well,
no, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I mean, maybe if you had me on like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
There was kind of a little weirdo mob going on, but I don't think it's like that anymore. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do politics. That's the thing. It's like my thing is not political, and even like our conversation to me, like I'm just not really, it doesn't do it for me. I just don't think that's where it's at.
Did you know about the meme account Beyond Woke and Problematic?
Oh yeah, I've talked to that guy all the time.
He's great. He's great. I've asked him, like I think he's gonna come on pretty soon. But
yeah, he's great.
We talked about this in the last episode, but you know, he got accused by like people of being like a fascist or whatever. Like that's crypto fascist, whatever dumb shit, you know, they're saying, whatever. Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's crazy that like I see friends of mine and people that are liberal and think of themselves as cool and liberal sharing this fascist stuff or whatever. And it's like, Oh, like it's just blowing my mind that you guys are sharing this guy who is a fascist. But it's just like, okay, well, because I know you're going over this whole emotional thing, but
yeah,
I don't agree with you that this guy's a fascist. Stop you right there in your tracks. Like, hold up. How can we prove that he's a fascist? What's the whole deal here?
But also, like, what's a fascist?
Just naming people fast. Exactly. You can just say anything's fascist, and that you can't share this. If you share this, then you're not part of my friend group or whatever.
Yeah.
It literally gets that crazy. Some people get fucking really weird over it, dude. Like, there are a lot of cool people. I meet a lot of people, and they'll be like, she'll have like she, her in her bio, or they, them in her bio, or whatever. But she's like, she looks like she like has like I voted sticker or whatever. But she's like actually secretly based and like a patron of our show,
right?
Yeah. But it's like she can kind of like hang out with liberals, but still like the show secret. And a lot of times these people think they have to be secret about liking our show.
That's really funny. I mean,
dude, it's gnarly.
Yeah, that's insane.
I love it. I fucking am sickly addicted to it. It's horrible.
No, I mean, it's a good addiction.
Conversation moves too slow. Yeah, the media's creation. Yeah, your free will has been taken and you don't know. Fuck yourself, choke yourself. Culture shock, just talk. Fuck yourself, choke yourself. Culture shock, just talk. Fuck yourself, choke yourself. Never seen without 100. She's a satanic priestess. Anarchy on the street, black fly faceless elitists. Throwing it down low and rapping Orion's belt. Atlantis, ancient vagina, getting dusty on the shelf. Enter the pigs, don't get it. No hands, I'm shattering jaws. Double nickels on the dime. Buckle and collect my balls. Culture shock, future shock. Fuck yourself, choke yourself. What you gonna be when you're grown, young blood? Gonna be a helpless throne. Won't ever have to think, though your head will be linked directly to your cell phone. The virus is alive, I can see it in your eyes. The infection is full blown. Career killer, double decker, packed with suicidal